Guys all for being here. I got this idea from another top coach, and I thought it'd be really cool to. Am I frozen? Or can you guys hear me? Oh, oh. You hear me? We're good? Okay. Whew. Sorry about that. Okay, so I got this idea, and I thought it'd be really fun to, I don't know about fun, but I thought it'd be smart to do this for you guys because you do see a lot of a highlight reel. Newer coaches are seeing, points and all this stuff, and you're like, where's the middle ground? Like, how do I get there? And so I thought it'd be fun to ask some questions to the more successful coaches who have been around for a little bit. I think they've all been around for at least 2 years, and just get a little bit of their behind the scenes, if you will, in their business, and kind of give you a feel for, wow, so what I'm actually doing is gonna work, even though I can't see it. There's a big part of this business that's such a blind faith. You got to get out there and you got to plug at it every day. And as a coach who's been elite 4 times, who's rank advanced almost to the highest rank in the company, today, this month, I can tell you that I still go through those times where I have to have a very blind faith of, I'm just going to keep talking to people. I'm going to keep adding value. I'm going to keep showing up, and the right people that I'm looking for are going to say yes to me. And if 50 of them tell me no, I'm not going to crawl in a hole and get upset about it, because it is what it is. Is it frustrating? Sure. Because generally we want to see, 1 in 10, 1 in 15 tell you yes. But sometimes we go through valleys in the business. So understand that this is very normal. So I wanted to ask these girls to rapid fire. Am I frozen again, or am I seeing things? I keep feeling like, no, we're good? Okay. So I'm going to ask the girls a couple questions, and then we'll take it one at a time, and they're going to just give me a 2-minute quick answer to the question. And it's going to be honest and something that may relate to you and help you guys. So we're going to get started. Let me just pull up these questions. Give me a second. While I'm at it. Okay. So let me see who I see here. Okay. I see Jackie, so I'm going to take you off mute. We'll start with you, and then we'll go through one question. I'll go through all of you guys, and then we'll go to the next question. Okay. So the first question is, who are you? What is your vision for your team and your journey with Beachbody? And what is one piece of your why that will prevent you from ever quitting as a coach? 2 minutes. Ready?
Oh my gosh. How can I answer that in 2 minutes, Lindsay? Oh my goodness. Okay. So my name is Jackie Peterson. Who am I? I'm a wife. I'm a mom. My daughter is 23 months old. She's almost 2, which is crazy. Hold on, I gotta look at these questions because I'm never gonna be able to answer this.
Let me see if hang on. Let me see if I can pull it up for you.
That was hold on, I have it on the chat you sent.
Okay.
All right. So that's a little bit about who I am. I'm living in Russia right now for my husband's job. He plays professional basketball, and we've been traveling for his career for 8 years. So our home is in Arizona, though, so I can't wait to go home. My vision for my team and my journey with Beachbody. My team is so amazing, and my vision is for us to just build this huge tribe of amazing, inspiring women who are going out and changing the world. That's really my vision, and just building a team with integrity and that goes out and puts people first. So that's really my vision for where I want my team to go. My journey with Beachbody has been amazing and crazy and awesome all at the same time. I've been a coach for 2 years and 4 months or something like that. And I think I've had so many life changes throughout this process. I started out my business when I was pregnant with my daughter. And then I was like on bed rest with her. And I think this is going to be one of the next questions about like challenges you've faced as a coach, right, Lindsay? And so I went through the whole like pregnancy, then, being a newborn, and then now she's a toddler, and just so many different challenges with that. And my journey with Beachbody has just slowly progressed, and it's been amazing. I've gotten in the best shape of my life. I've made the best friends in my entire life that I've ever had through Beachbody, and our financial future has completely changed. In the beginning of Beachbody, I was here just because I wanted to help people, and I didn't know it could grow into such a huge like organization, a huge business. And that's, the direction that it's headed now. And it's given our family like something to look forward to for when my husband retires from his career. And it's given us that plan B that we never really had before, to fall back on if there's injury or if he gets cut from one of his jobs or whatever, which was always like a worry for us before we found the Beachbody coaching opportunity. So what is one piece of your why that will prevent you from ever quitting as a coach? So this is a long answer too, but like seriously, once you get into this community and you get addicted to changing people's lives, like I could never ever quit now, because I know how much of an impact it's not only had on my life, but how much of an impact I've had on other coaches on my team's life, my challengers. Like I could never ever give up on those people that I'm helping every single day. And I think because I know that this is my purpose and this is my mission in life, like this is where God has put me. And like I really think that's the biggest reason why I would never quit, even before money. Like obviously, the money is great, and it's given us a future for like, financially that we didn't ever see coming. But more than that, it's really just it's living out my purpose and like changing people's lives and never giving up on those people, never giving up on myself, and showing people that this really works and what we do is amazing and it's credible, and it's worth like doing. Like I could literally do this forever, just because I know how much it changes other people's lives. And so that's basically my answer. I would never quit. I could never quit.
Awesome.
Because I love it.
Okay. I'm going to mute you. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Am I unmuted? You're muted, Lindsay. Does that mean it's my turn?
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good. Sorry.
Okay, let me pull up this question again. Oh, this is going to be like really hard to fit in 2 minutes. Okay, so who am I? I'm Natanya. I'm 29 years old from Seattle. Currently over in Italy. I have 2 kids, a 1.5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and 2 dogs. Married, husband's a basketball player. That's why we're over here. It's pretty much who I am. My vision for my team and my journey with Beachbody is pretty much just helping my team grow and reach their goals. Hold on, just a minute. And reach their goals, whatever that is. I mean, we're not all going to have the same goals and the same aspirations in life. So I just want to make sure that this opportunity is fulfilling to them and can help change their life with that. An extra $50 a week, $100 a week, or 6 figures a year. I want them to be successful in their terms. So that's kind of my vision for my team, to just help people change their life, their health. If you don't have health, you don't have wealth, so to speak. So I'm a huge advocate for just a healthy lifestyle. So that's where it starts. And then the business and financial part kind of just comes in second, I guess, to help. You need money to live, right? So just to help them meet their goals with the business. That's what my vision is for my team. So it is it's not a vision for me because, my team is so much more than me. It's a vision for each individual coach all coming together and helping each other succeed. And then one piece, sorry, I need glasses, but I don't have them. Your why that will prevent you from ever quitting. Okay, so one piece of my why is my kids. Similar to Jackie, my husband's a basketball player as well. What a lot of people don't know is that the phone can stop ringing tomorrow, or the team could be 2 months late on a payment, or 3 months late, or just decide never to pay you again. So just because we're overseas, as athletes, doesn't mean the money is rolling in, so to speak. There have been, horror stories of people never getting paid. Knock on wood, we've never been owed any money, but it could happen, right? And he could get injured tomorrow and be done. And with kids, say hi. With kids, it's just scary because you have lives to provide for and, college funds to save for, and things are just expensive. You gotta, provide for your family. So when we had kids, it was like, okay, well, what's our plan B? So I started this opportunity to stay home with my kids and be able to travel with my husband wherever it was. We were on the East Coast at the time when I initially signed up, and he was actually went to training camp with the NBA and got injured and went down to the developmental league, and that's why we were on the East Coast. And the developmental league does not pay you more than pretty much like a minimum wage job. It's horrible. And so living off of that with a newborn and me at home was just like kind of stressful. So we were at like the lowest of our low. He was rehabbing, and I just didn't really see a good future. We had unexpected medical bills that we had to pay for off of this really bad income. Nothing's guaranteed in the NBA either. There's a lot of agent fees that people don't really know about, and cost of living and all that stuff. They don't give you a house to live in. They don't give you a car to drive. So you have to figure out all that yourself. And long story short, we needed financial help. So I just kind of jumped into this for my family, and it'll always be for my family, just to provide more for them and be able to go on vacations, stress-free, and show them the world, and create memories without having to be in piles and piles of debt. And my why has definitely changed throughout the years I've been a coach, but at the very bottom of my why will always be my kids and will always be my family, and just providing for them.
Okay, awesome. I'll come back to you for the next question. Chrissy, you're next. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. I'm unmuting you.
Okay.
Same question.
Yeah, easy question. So who am I? My name is Chrissy. Really simple. I'm a Navy wife of, 17 and a half, almost 18 years. My husband's been in a little over 18 years. We've lived in 4 different states, 10 different cities within those states. We have 3 kids. Our oldest is now 15. I homeschool all 3 of them. We have a 15, 12, and a 4-year-old. Part of my vision with Beachbody, I'll be honest, when I first started this, it was sheer for the discount. I didn't even realize that this was an actual business. I've been around for almost 4 years in the business, and it took me, I think 6 to 9 months before I realized I could make money. And then I started seeing the potential with it. And then that's when I realized that I have this vehicle that can allow me to be the catalyst for people to understand that they are a champion, that they have something worth it within themselves to do, to be more than what they see. Because how many people do you meet that are just a mom, just a dad, just a wife, just a stay-at-home mom, just a working mom? I hate the phrase just a, because you are so much more than one thing. And that's kind of my why as well, is this business has allowed me to see that in myself. Because before I was just AT1's wife, just Chief's wife, just Senior Chief's wife, just Chris's mom, just Morgan's mom. I was just the Girl Scout leader. I was just a insert. Now I have a passion and a real reason to get up every day. And when you struggle with anything, all of my answers are all going to kind of roll together because I like to ramble, for those that don't know. My why, it just keeps rolling into things. I've struggled with depression all of my life. This business literally saved my life, because before I met this team, I would have days where I laid in bed and I would not get out of bed. or I would get out of bed to sit on the couch in my PJs. My husband would be on 24-hour duty, so we wouldn't see him for 2 days because he was on the ship. I would be in the exact same PJs that I was in Monday morning when he would come home Wednesday night. And he would look at the kids and he would ask them, did you eat? And my oldest at the time was 10, and he would be like, yeah, I made us Pop-Tarts, or I made us macaroni and cheese. That is not a childhood. That isn't even really in existence for these kids. But the people on this team reached out to me, and the people on my team reached out to me, and it's like, I've got amazing ladies that I work with. I'm so thankful and blessed for Lisa and Martha and Leanna and all of them on the team, because they reached out to me and were like, hey, we haven't seen you online. What's going on? Are you okay? And it really brought me out of this really destructive pattern that I was in. And I've always struggled with my weight. I've always struggled with self-worth. And I will never quit this business because it has given me that power, that belief in myself. And I've been able to show that and teach that to my clients and to my coaches. And why would you ever stop something that has this magnitude within your own life? So there's my answers.
Awesome. Okay. I'm going to put up question number 2 and we'll go back to Jackie. Ashton is stuck at her doctor. So she said she's going to make a video for you guys, and John Walls is going to do the same. And I think Katie is going to do the same. She got stuck in a meeting. So we'll keep going. So here we go with question 2. We're going to go back to Jackie. So the question is, describe a season in your journey that made building a Beachbody business challenging, to say the least. What were the key pieces of your routine and your mindset you implemented in order to stay steadfast and not give up? So let me unmute you. Okay, you're unmuted.
Okay, like I kind of said before, I've gone through like so many different life changes since becoming a Beachbody coach. In the beginning, it was, I'm pregnant. I got put on bed rest for a couple of weeks. Then it was I have a newborn. My husband was overseas. He wasn't even there for the birth of my daughter. And so I was home alone, basically as a single mom, having no clue how to deal with a newborn for a while. And so it was really hard. And so I went through all those challenging moments. And what I did to kind of get through that and, change my mindset is obviously number 1, I had to do personal development like times 10 to get through those challenging moments. And so sitting, on bed rest, like I was sitting there reading Failing Forward and, The Compound Effect and The Slight Edge and all these amazing books that were helping me to get my mind in the right spot when it shouldn't have been, because my life was crazy and things weren't going how, I wanted them to. And I didn't feel like I had enough time to work my business or, all those different things that come up when you're going through rough times. And I really just the key for me is PD. One thing that I implemented once I became a mom too was audio personal development. I can barely ever sit down to read. I have to wake up super early to do like my Bible study and actually sit down and read. So all I do for personal development is audio. Audible.com. If you guys don't have it, get it because it's amazing. You can do personal development while you're doing the dishes, while you're driving your kids, to school, or if you're driving to work or whatever, anything you're doing throughout the day. Like that's something I implemented like right away was I have my headphones in all the time. And when I'm not doing something where I have to be like engaging, obviously with my family or with other people, I am listening to personal development. And that's what has always kept me remotivated. So that's definitely my biggest tip for you guys.
I just said real quick, share your top 3 books that you would tell them to read or listen to.
Okay. Top 3 books for sure. The Compound Effect and The Slight Edge, Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell, and what else? Oh my gosh, there's so many. I could give you like 1,000 recommendations. Probably anything by John C. Maxwell, to be honest with you, was really good.
All right. Thanks. Okay. Let's go to Italy. Hang on a second. Mute you. And okay.
Am I good?
Yep, you're good.
Fresh out of Italy. Okay, so a lot of you probably don't know is that I've been a coach for almost 3 years now, and I have not worked my business for 3 years. It took me a while to even admit that and to be okay with my journey and being like, yeah, you know, I slacked off for a while. So I was kind of like almost like a discount to hobby coach for a while, believe it or not. And it, you know, I kick myself now for it because I could be so much further in my business, but everything happens for a reason. And I love my story now. I embrace it because I can tell my coaches, like, it doesn't have to take you as long as it took me. You can do it in twice the time. I know exactly how not to do it. I've been there. I can tell you what roads not to go down. And, you know, I've been through every struggle. I feel like that I can relate to probably every single one of you on this call one way or another, which is another blessing to have, you know, so I can connect with my team a little better and give them tips. So there were a few times I kind of backed off in my business. A couple times I built my business really close to diamond, but I put diamond on a pedestal. And I thought diamond was like the ultimate rank. And I was like, I'm not good enough to be diamond. I am not this awesome diamond Beachbody coach. I've just been coaching for a few months. I can't be the highest rank because it's the highest rank you can personally get yourself, right? So I let all the confidence or lack of confidence and insecurity eat me alive, and my organization crashed 2 or 3 times, but I still stuck around and I kept building it up. And then when I decided I did want diamond, I was like, I hit a lot of struggles along the way and I couldn't build this fast. And that was another insecurity thing of mine, and confidence, right? You need to have confidence in yourself to build. And I eventually hit diamond and nothing really changed. Like, what was I so freaking excited about? Like, yeah, you want to get diamond, but your business starts at diamond. That's when you like start seeing change. Like, it's not like I'm going to be this $1 million earner once I hit diamond, right? So I had all these fancy ideas in my mind that were just an illusion pretty much. And I wasted time in my own insecurities and doubts with that. And then I got pregnant with my daughter, and my first trimester, I was like deathly ill for the entire first trimester. I could not even keep water down. No Shakeology. I mean, I'm anemic as is. So that on top of being pregnant, when you even get more anemic, and just having, you know, to chase after my haywire toddler son all day long, keeping him from climbing the walls, it was exhausting. So I did work my business. I tuned into calls and I would post and I would message people, but I wasn't working it as much as I wanted because I was just exhausted and life just got the best of me. And my kids are my priority, right? That's a blessing of this business, is I can pick and choose when I want to work. I just have to be okay with the consequences of my business not growing. And so once I started to feel better, the end of my first trimester was about a time of a team cup, which was awesome. And, you know, we got Jackie on my team cup team. We were both pushing for diamond. So we both hit diamond that month. So I went from diamond to a 1-star qualifying right away. And I was like, holy crap, like, whoa, how'd this happen? And it was a whole nother like new level, new devil type thing. I had to get my confidence right. So confidence has been my biggest struggle. But once I had my daughter, like Jackie said, our husbands left overseas for Russia. We were in Russia last year together, and Mia was, I think, 6 weeks old. So I was a new mom to a newborn. Plus I had a toddler son and 2 dogs to take care of. You know, people work full-time jobs. So I didn't have like all these people around me helping me. I'm too prideful to ask for help. I was nursing on demand. When my daughter was sleeping, my son was awake, and they never napped at the same time. And he left for Russia, and it was supposed to be like a month until we went over there. It ended up being like 4 months until we actually got our visas and were able to go join them. So it was very hard. There was family drama going on in my life at the time, very toxic, very demanding and draining. And that's about 6 months of my business I wasted from just excuses, fear, insecurity, and not, I thought I was working, but I really wasn't doing the income generating activities that you should be doing daily to grow your business. And I slacked on my personal development, which is the number one thing you need to do to get your mind right through those tough times. I could have been doing a power hour easily, I could have still been doing a power hour, but the exhaustion of just it all, it was just like, you know what, I'm not worthy type thing. It was all in my head. So the biggest turnaround for me was just dipping back down into my faith, to be honest with you, and handing all my problems to God and all my, your why should make you cry. And it's probably going to make me cry here in a second, but I always want to be a stay-at-home mom, but it's hard. It's freaking hard. People don't tell you that you have throw up in your hair 24 hours a day, diaper explosion 7 times a day, and your kids, Isaiah was potty training and he was peeing all over the place and trying to run outside and pee like the dogs. I'm just like, what is my life right now? Like, this is insane. And I couldn't even remember to eat, which I needed to do because I was nursing. And it's just like life just goes, right? And so I kind of got back down to my center and it's like, okay, what's my purpose? Why am I doing this? Why? You have to ask yourself that no matter what, you're having a great day or a horrible day. Why? And it's because of my kids. I was doing it for my kids. And I wanted to be a good example for them. I wanted to provide more for them. I wanted to have a Christ-centered business even and have a purpose in life, not just like I'm throwing darts at the wall and hoping they stick somewhere, but I wanted that bullseye to aim for and go after. And that whole 6 months was a trial for me. It was a test. And I tell you, I wanted to quit probably 737 times during that 6 months, but I never hit that cancellation button. Why? I don't really know, to be honest with you. It was probably the big guy upstairs kind of pulling me away from that, going that route. But I dipped back in, really got focused on my faith. I read or listened to Awaken the Giant Within, Life-Changing. That was a great book. That's one of my recommendations for you. Failing Forward definitely is a great book to read. Oh gosh, there's so many books, but Compound Effect is a must for everybody, like a new coach. But I'm a big advocate for whatever you're struggling with, you need to find a solution. So you can't be, if you're okay with your confidence, I'm not going to have you be, reading a book on confidence. So I would just say find your biggest fear or issue in your business. Oh my God, my daughter is covered in blue highlighter. Wow. And find a book that speaks to that to help you. But, if I can go through all the trial after trial after trial and still be here, it just comes down to how bad you want it. And I had to rebuild my business, of course. I was kicking myself. I had to kind of start fresh again. And it was a struggle, but it's what I wanted. I wanted the opportunity for my family. And I wanted, my kids to see that I'm not just a mom, right? It's like, well, yeah, I'm just a mom, but I do 5,000 bazillion things a day. And I do get a lot of comments from people saying, wow, you do so much. How do you do it all? And that's almost, the best compliment you can give somebody because they recognize that you're doing so much, but on Facebook land, you only see the highlight reel. So you don't really see what's going behind the scenes. So that's a really, really long story because I've been through so many ups and downs in the business, just in my growth as a person, but it all comes down to confidence. And something clicked in my mind and said, damn it, why not me? All these coaches, like top 10 coaches, I don't care if they aren't even married or they have 1 kid or 7 kids or whatever the issue is, living paycheck to paycheck or broke as a joke or, drug and alcohol addicted. They turned their life around and they got successful. So why couldn't I do it? That was the main thing, is why not me? I deserve this too. Don't my kids deserve it? Don't I deserve to, provide a better life for them and to, reach my goals and my potential and live out my purpose too? Like, why not me? And that's what you should be asking yourself too. It might take you a little longer. You might be figuring out every way not to do it, but don't give up, because it's like right when you want to give up, that's where the glory is, honestly. It's like that ultimate test, that ultimate trial, and then poof, there's your pot of gold, so to speak. And it does take, consistency. So once you get in that habit, that's when you're going to start seeing those results. I backed off that consistency, so I had to rebuild. So that was my, I guess, what do you call it? Biggest trial of my business. And I still fail forward every single day, and I'm still figuring out what works for me and these 2 crazy kids over here. But that's, the blessing of this business is it's going to work for each and every one of you how you want it to work. Just keep going.
Yeah, there's no perfect balance, guys. Like, we all are just fitting it in pockets. Just so you know, like, if you think you're looking for some kind of balance, it's not there. Like, there's going to be bad days and there's going to be good days. And you just have to be able to be okay with, like, if I just keep going. It's always been my, like, the Dory who says just keep swimming, or when they were in Nemo. All right, Chrissy is next. So we jump from, and look, can we just add to these two girls? It is like nighttime over there when we have nighttime, and they're trying to get on calls and different trainings and stuff. It's like 3 a.m. over there. So they do this and have done this from overseas, you guys, with little guys who keep them up as it is. So that in itself is pretty freaking cool, because that's a challenge. Okay, so Chrissy, you're unmuted, and then...
Okay, so like I said, I've been around a while. I've been around almost 4 years. All of my, so it's been like this. All of my dips have one thing in common, but let me explain a couple of my dips for you. My first dip was, like I said, my husband's active duty Navy. He was doing a deployment that was supposed to be 6 months long. We get to 5 months, which is about a month out before he's supposed to come home. Oh, by the way, he's not coming home. We don't know when he's coming home. 6 months hits, 7 months hits, 8 months hit. Oh, we still don't know when he's coming home. The deployment ended up being 10 months and 2 days, which I'm going to count the 2 days because it was 2 days he was gone. It wasn't our longest deployment, but I did go from emerald to diamond while he was gone within 1 month because I was working late at night. Remember, I still homeschool my kids. And at the time I had an exclusively breastfed child. My youngest nursed until he was 2.5, almost 3. So the whole time I've been building this business, I've had a child attached to my hip in some way, shape, or form because we still co-sleep. Things were going pretty groovy and business was building, and I saw multi-star on the horizon, and then my husband came home and my reality came crashing down. He's never been shore duty. He's never been home more than a handful of weeks at a time. That was a massive adjustment for me and the kids and our family. And I went into a depression and I backed off from my business. I even remember saying some pretty, not cross words, I didn't curse, but I was like, just leave me alone. I will do this when I'm ready. And I was pretty nasty to Lindsay. Thank goodness she just kind of, all right, laughed it off and went about her business and found more people, and I did my thing. During that depression state, I also went sepsis from a UTI and kidney infection that the Navy did not find. I ended up in the hospital and almost died. During that time, I was still, and my husband had to take my phone from me. I was still on my phone, talking to people, finding new people. And they were like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm laying here and they're giving me another IV. I think I'm going to die, but it's okay. And I laugh it off because that's kind of how I am. This isn't about me, it's about them. So I kept talking. After that, I realized I had gained back half my weight I had lost. I had lost 100 pounds. That was very, very discouraging. After that, I got a tear on my hamstring. I gained more weight. I lost the weight. Went back into another depression because I realized things just still weren't the same. That took a long time to get out of that. But my Beachbody family was there. And then after that, I got into a car accident on the way to one of our retreats. Going out my driveway. We live in the middle of nowhere and there's a retention ditch around our property. I should totally know this, right? 4:00 in the morning, I didn't have my coffee. I was a little ticky and I pulled out forward and just crunched the front end of my car. A couple weeks after that, I got rear-ended. Between those two accidents, at some point, it has injured my neck, and I've also got a tear in my rotator cuff now. I have a nerve damage where my hand just spontaneously opens up. So all of this has happened while I'm building my business. So like I said, a lot of things have been a sticking point. I've lost some amazing people on my team for one reason or another. It just wasn't a fit for them. And that's soul crushing when you pour every ounce of your being into helping people. And it's soul crushing if you let it, it's soul crushing. And it really throws you when you're like, but I've spent all this time helping them. I thought that I was doing the best I could do. And I was, and I've realized that it wasn't me. It was where they're at in life. So it all came down to personal development. Lucky, go lay down. And time management. No matter what, I have set business hours. My children know this. My youngest knows, like right now I'm sitting at my desk. He would know not to come to me if he came downstairs because the desk means I'm at work. Before I had a desk, I actually had an open and close sign that I put on my bedroom door. I have definitive business hours, just like I have definitive homeschooling hours. I will not answer messages during homeschool hours. I will not do anything that is not homeschool if it's homeschool time. If it's family time, it's family time. So my biggest thing that I would suggest for you guys is find a schedule that works for you. One of the first books I read for personal development was Eat That Frog. And I'm a huge procrastinator. Like I clean my house 30 minutes before my husband's supposed to come home from deployment kind of procrastinator. I've had 9-10 months to do it and I don't do it until right before he comes home. But Eat That Frog has allowed me to set a very detailed schedule. My coaches know that they can send me a message, but if it's not my time to check messages, it's going to sit there. Not because I don't love them and not because I don't want to help them, but because I can go, well, what was I doing? Like total squirrel moments. That's just who I am. I'm not by nature a scheduled person. Not at all. This was a learned trait. And Lindsay's over there laughing because she would be like, so what time did you go to bed last night? Oh, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Well, what time did you get? I don't know. When I got up, when the kid woke up, that's when I woke up. I had no idea what was going on. And it took me about 2 years in this business to figure out time management. Time management is so essential. So much so that I have this amazing little planner that's like my Bible. It has everything I'm going to do, time, even cleaning my house, taking a shower, washing my hair, going to PT, working out. Everything is in that. And if it's not in this, it's like your grocery list. If it's not on the list, it doesn't get done. You don't do it. You just don't. That's how I've kept from giving up. Please put him outside. He wants to go outside. That's how I stay on task. That's how I keep going. And as far as personal development, like Natanya was saying, find something that speaks to you. Whatever your sticking point is in your business or even in your life, that's what you need to focus on to make it expand and to get better. For me, personally, as a brand new coach, it was Eat That Frog, because I can't stress it enough. You need to have a schedule, especially if you have children at home or you have anybody else that you are in charge of or you have to take care of. Even if it's just a spouse, if you share your life with somebody, you need a schedule. So Eat That Frog is a huge one. I like You're a Badass because that's my thing. Like I'm kind of gruff and thankfully my coaches understand that. It is what?
Can I run my shake?
Yeah, go ahead and run your shake. You're fine. Thank you. It isn't that I mean to be rude. I just have a very little filter. I say it as it is. If I think you're messing up, I'm going to be like, I love you, but this is what's wrong. Or this is what I see happening. How do you see it? So I like very gruff books. I really like that. I also adore Tony Robbins. Like I could listen to him all day long. In fact, there's days that we do. And personal development is so much part of my life that my children have to do it too. If you're a geek, check out The Nerdist Way by Chris Hardwick. Amazing, totally awesome book. It deals with everything from food, nutrition, working out, personal finances. It's like the way of life, man. And I think that's what he's fixing to pop on to. That's his book for the month. He's re-listening to it, and they actually tell you how to write out what's called a character tone. So if you're not in Geek Lane, you have no idea what I'm talking about. It's kind of like setting out your goals and having a map of your goals there. But you get points. And who doesn't like points, by the way? I mean, I do. So you get points for completing your workout, for talking to 10 people, for following up with 20, for signing a new coach. You get to give yourself points, and you get to level up in life as you're doing things towards your goal. It's an amazing book to set goals. Seriously, The Nerdist Way, check it out. So I think I got everything. Yeah.
Can we just say that she made a decision to make Success Club non-negotiable around everything? And so did the other ones. But I just want to highlight, and I want to make a post about this, but I don't have a photo with you. I'm like,
because I hate photos. But that was also on the heels of that septus thing that I was talking about. When I was lying in bed, I'm sitting here going, what am I doing? I'm still talking to people. I'm still trying to grow this. But yet, okay, let's backtrack. The year before that happened, I hit Success Club 4 times that month. They were all during Team Cups or Fall Classic. That was the only time I hit it.
You only hit it 4 times that year?
4 times the year before, yeah. And I'm like, I can do it. And I'm sitting here talking to people. Why am I not implementing what I know I need to do? I'm filling up my tracker, but I've got a whole bunch of zeros. So why am I shortchanging not just myself, but why am I shortchanging these people that I could reach? Why am I, I'm doing this disservice to all these people that I could meet and help? I can do that. I can totally help 3 people. And I did pretty well. 10 wasn't my goal. 5 was my goal, but most months I was hitting 8 to 12. So I'm like, I kind of superseded my goal, which was amazing. But I did it on the heels of almost dying. And when I messaged Lindsay, I'm like, okay, so this is happening. And she's like, really? And I know in the back of her mind, she's like, you're crazy. You're whatever. Sure, Chrissy. Yeah, uh-huh. That's totally going to happen. And I know she was sitting there going, uh-huh, sure. And then I got the first month, and I'm like, oh, that was really easy. I got the second month. I'm like, wow, that was kind of easy. 6 months is where I got my sticking point. And I looked at my husband, and I'm like, I am too far to stop now. And again, it goes back to that schedule. And now, oh, by the way, I have also finished my college degree while I've been building this business. And now I'm finishing up a Primal Blueprint certification, which is like going to school, but even worse because it's all online. I can only do it on my computer. I can't do it anywhere else. I'll probably have that finished by the end of April. So, and homeschooling the kids. So seriously, it's all about time management. Yeah. Like time management. That's all there is to it. So yeah, that's
that. Has been on a vacation, their first ever.
And we went into the water where the fishies pee. And that's
the water.
I don't like oceans because fish pee in the ocean.
We made her go in the ocean. We made her face some fears, but then they came and bit my ankles and I was out. I'm like, I'm out. Anyways, I was just trying to add that in because how cool, like we just got off the cruise and she was like, oh my gosh, like we're on a trip. Like I'm on vacation and I'm living it up. Like I'm having a good time. Of course you get spoiled, rotten when you go on a Beachbody trip. I highly encourage you to get on the Punta Cana wait list for next year and do not miss a month of Success Club and get yourself there and take your spouse or take somebody. And I'm sure her spouse, while he's been
he's still talking about it. He has people because, I tagged him in all my pictures. He has apparently a lot of his friends follow my Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, so I saw your wife took you guys to go do this. Oh, I saw your wife made you do this. Yep. He's like, it's really weird. And we live in a small town. Like in Washington, there's this little bitty island that's like this big on the map. And that's where we live. So everybody here knows you. And I kind of stand out with my blue hair and my tattoos. I'm not the typical military wife. So we were at Hagen's. We were at a grocery store last night. And we had 4 people stop us to talk about the cruise, about how whether or not we enjoyed it and what our favorite parts were. So people are always watching, even if they don't comment. But you have to make that point and that effort to talk to them. But you won't do it if you don't have it as a non-negotiable. I've actually got my book here that says no matter what, and these are everything that I'm going to do each month. I'm totally a note person. Sorry, that was a total squirrel moment.
Yeah, because you guys, like, you won't, I can tell you right now, if you miss Success Club, you won't be on the trip next year. And you want to be on the trip. Like, that's such a cool thing for you. It's such a different experience to be able to be in a downtime with the company on a vacation and be able to post stuff like that and people see like
Core. The announcement that they put out for Core at Summit this year.
Oh yeah. So she gets to go on a special time to shop in the Core. If you haven't been to Summit yet, Summit Core line is hours upon hours. Like you will be in line for hours, unless
Usually
you're
it lasts your 5.5 hours.
5.5 hours. I've never seen the line because I've always been elite because I don't like lines, and it's that simple to motivate me. Like, I don't want to stand in a line, so I'm either not going to go in there or I'm going to hit elite and just walk right in. And that's the perks of things like Elite, Premier, Success Club, All-Star. They really care and respect that hard work you've put in for your business. And not only that, but you've also built something for your family. Okay, so let's move on before we run out of time here. We got one more question. We're going back to Russia. I feel like we're going around the world. We have Jackie back on. So the question is, what are some habits you developed since becoming a coach that helped you build confidence, run your own race, keep your blinders on, goal set, and or celebrate your small successes along the way?
Okay. So some habits I've developed since becoming a coach. All right. Number one is like just getting out of your comfort zone. And like, I remember it so vividly, like as a complete, like brand new baby coach, like I remember being like, Natania, how do I talk to somebody I don't know? Like I am I'm an introvert. And so I was like, how do I do this? She was like, you just do it. Like, you just have to do it. And, like just tackling like little things like that. So first it was, how do I talk to, how do I, add to my network? How do I talk to people that, I'm not already friends with? How do I start these conversations? And then just doing it, getting out of my comfort zone, tackling it. Then it was, how do I, I'm so scared to make a video. How do I make a video? And then just being scared on my mind, but doing it anyways. And then it was, posting my story on Facebook or before and after. I'm deathly afraid to do it, but I'm going to get out of my comfort zone and do it anyways. And then just as far as like goal setting, like being afraid to set certain goals, like setting the goal to be an elite coach, that was freaking scary, but I just did it and I got out of my comfort zone and I said, you know what, I'm going to give everything I have to go for this goal because I'm going to go for what I want. And really just like, you've got to get out of your comfort zone every single day. Like I tell myself that every day. If I'm not scared, like even now, if I'm not a little bit uncomfortable every single day, I'm not growing. And once you start getting out of your comfort zone and doing those hard things, it becomes a little bit easier because you start to see the rewards from it and you start to see people notice what you're doing and you start to get like good reactions and you start to get, like all those positives start to come out and it kind of like almost becomes addictive. So now I'm just like, okay, what else can I do to like be scared? And so even like, getting on team calls or hosting your first sneak peek group or like all of those things that are scary to you right now, like you just have to do it and you have to fail at it a couple of times. So that's another one, just comfort zone and then failing every single day. Do not be afraid to fail because that's how you're going to gain more experience. And if I didn't go through all those, like, try those new things and fail at them, 10 times before I got it right, then I wouldn't know how to teach my team how to be better at it. And I wouldn't know how to guide them. So you kind of have to think about it like in, future you have to go through all this hard crap in your first year or two of being a coach so that you can teach it to your team and show them how to be successful at it. So definitely that. The other thing is like sacrifice, just knowing that it's not going to always be like the easy road and being okay with making sacrifices in your life to get, the goals that you want and achieve the goals that you want. Not watching as much TV or, putting the kids down earlier for bed or waking up an hour earlier, like doing all of those things that you don't really want to do every single day, but that it's going to get you closer to achieving what you want to, and it's going to get you, ultimately, you're going to help more people, you're going to make your business grow, and just knowing that, that like just kind of just trusting that process and going at it with blind faith, and knowing that if you sacrifice, if you work hard, if you do those things that you don't really want to do every single day, the benefits are going to come. Like you're going to start to reap the rewards. One thing that I did as far as like goal setting that I think really helped me is I set goals. I got in the habit of setting goals every single week. Which is something that I never did before. So I actually have like a goal notebook, and I set my goals every single Sunday. I sit down and I write out like 10 goals. And I learned this from Chalene Johnson. If you haven't done like the 30-day push, it's like a free challenge for like goal setting and management or whatever. I don't remember. I haven't done it in forever, but she taught me that. And I set goals for the week. I set goals for the month, and I set goals for the year. And it really helped me to set those smaller goals like each and every week and each and every month, so that I know like, okay, you know, every single little goal that I accomplish and every goal that I, you know, knock out this month is taking me closer to that, you know, year-long goal that I have, or that vision that I have for where I want to go. So I think that kind of helped me gain confidence too, just to know like, okay, this week my goal is to get one challenger. Or to, you know, slowly your goals will increase as you like, you know, gain more experience and you get better at inviting and all that different kind of stuff. But yeah, just setting those small weekly goals and just being like going after them every single week. Was that, I think I answered.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I wanted to add the thing that they say in the slight edge, or is it the compound effect, where I think it's the slight edge. It's easy to do and it's easy not to do. And if you're willing to put in the sacrifice and the work now and failing forward and being the one to go first, the point of a leader is they are just going first. They're brave enough to get out there. They're brave enough to fail and fall on their face. They're brave enough to accept accountability for who knows what they may be dealing with. They're brave enough to handle haters. They're brave enough to handle family thinking they're nuts. Like, people saying no, like that's a leader. They're just kind of like a bull, just kind of still pounding through, like nothing, all these noises around me don't really bother me. I'm going to keep going. And the pack that goes with them is like, oh, look, they're still getting there. Look, they're getting somewhere. I'm going to keep going. And the team, and that's your team, they start to go with you, and that's how you lead. And the quote is that if you're willing to do the things that others are not willing to do right now, you're going to live a life that others won't live, that you get to live later. And that's what you're seeing in someone like me. I'll just use me for an example. Like, you didn't see me when I first started. Some of you did because some of you are with me, but a lot of you are newer, and you were like, it looks like I've just had it, like this thing all figured out. But you, Lindsay, was completely different in the beginning. I was completely like broke. I couldn't just do things that I can do now, but I was willing to do the work it took. And I'm still actually willing, because I still have goals. And I think that's important to always have a what's next goal. Like when I hit Diamond, I'm like, okay, I can't control this anymore. I need to help people. Like, and that was sort of my thing, is like, well, if I want to get Success Club, I should tell them to get Success Club. And if I like this diamond rank thing, they should like that. And I always saw it as like, they tell you sign up with me, you tell me goals, and I'm sure these girls agree, like you're giving me these big dreams and goals. So it's my job to hold you accountable to doing those things that scare you and that make you so uncomfortable and that are going to be sacrificing, because we know in like a couple years, you're going to be like, oh, thank God I did all that. Look at where I'm at today. So I just wanted to add that, and then I'll go to Natalia.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing too. Like, you're going to like constantly question yourself too. Like, the whole entire time you're going to be going, this isn't working. It's not working. Why isn't it working? And like, you're always going to be like, why am I still not, like, why isn't the income there? Why haven't I hit this rank? Why isn't my team doing this or that? Like, you're always going to be questioning yourself until all of a sudden it's just going to happen. And you cannot quit, because it's going to happen. You just have to keep going. Like, it really is, like, you guys have to read the compound effect. You have to read the slight edge, because that explains it perfectly. And just like Lindsay said, like, you've got to do those things that most people aren't willing to do now, so that in 2 years, you're going to be where everybody else wants to be. And it really is true. Like, you just have to have that blind faith, and you have to know that every time you question yourself, that's actually like part of the process. And you're going to have to keep questioning yourself if it's working. And as long as you're doing the things that you should be doing, you know, the 3 vital behaviors, and you're working hard, then it's going to happen. You just have to have that faith and just go for it every single day.
I still have questions. Like,
Yeah.
I still come in, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or where am I going next? Like, it's very normal. That's totally cool. Don't think you're alone in that. You're not alone. Very, very normal. And it's okay. Like, and let me just add, like, if you're like, I miss success, don't think like it's the end of the world. Just start fresh. Right now, you've got a couple days to make things happen. Jackie could tell you a story about, I think she has a video about it. I don't know if she still has it saved, about how she was on the final day at a 0 and what she did. But I'm going to move on. She's still making it happen, and what I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to let Natanya give her answer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an example of not giving up and still being able to reach your goals. I mean, it may have taken me longer than most coaches to get, to premier coach, but I was still able to do it. And like, honestly, it was even last year, I had so much self-doubt. I didn't even think I could make elite, because I was just kind of getting back in the game. And I was like, there's no freaking way I can make elite, and I think it was September or August or something. We were on a corporate call, and my numbers were pretty sad. I had no idea what they meant. I had no idea how to track elite. And, that's all my fault for sure. But I ended up hitting my elite numbers in just 4 or 5 months out of the year. So that's just proof that if you put your head down, blinders on, get to work, you can do it, no doubt. So Jackie hit a lot of points I was going to bring up, because there's just not a lot to this business, to be honest. It's very simple. You want to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You want to wake up every day with that nervous pit in your stomach of just like, God, what am I doing? And the very first thing I remember that I was uncomfortable with, because I signed up in like 3 seconds after being asked. I had no idea what I was doing, but my Facebook profile was on lockdown. If you friend requested me, I'd be like, who sent you? Why are you here? What do you want? And I kind of stalked your page before I would add you. My Facebook was like my blog. It was like how I shared our travels overseas with my friends and family back home. I had a lot of pictures of my kids, a lot of stuff from college, and it was just like, I was very shy, very introverted. I didn't want my stuff out there on blast, right? So that was my first thing, is I went through all my photos and I started clicking things on private that I didn't want people to see, left some things up, deleted some things, and I clicked that public button. And that was so scary for me. And I think a lot of you can probably relate to that. It's 100% up to you. You don't have to do that. But if you want to grow your business on a faster track, you definitely need to take that plunge to make it public. My very first transformation photo I shared was Brazilian butt lift. And what do you have to show to share that transformation? Your butt cheeks. So I was in underwear, which wasn't like anything more than a swimsuit would show. I wasn't in a thong or anything. And I had to blast that on Facebook. My husband was kind of like, why are you posting those? And I'm like, well, it's my transformation. I got to share, and I got an email from corporate saying they wanted to, have the rights to my photos so they can use them in their infomercials and stuff. And I said no, because I was so scared and intimidated and just insecure about it. I contacted them later and told them, I changed my mind, they can do it. But at first I was like, no way, Jose, no, I don't want my butt everywhere. Like, how scary is that? But from day one, I've been battling these, insecurities and confidence issues. So make sure you're, plugging into your personal development for that. That's been the biggest thing for me. And just be unapologetically you. That once I tapped into who I was and started sharing what I'm about, was when I started to see the most results in my business, not just growth-wise, but connection and culture-wise within my team. Like, my team's culture is the best it's ever been, because my attraction marketing is finally working. I'm not following these top 10 coaches and being like, how are they doing this? And then copying and pasting what they're doing. I'm making it my own. I'm getting ideas. I'm getting, creative juices flowing, so to speak, and then creating something that I'm comfortable with, that relates to me and shows who I am. If I'm, eat a chocolate muffin for dinner, cool, I'm going to post about that. You know, like I'll be connecting with people that see the same struggle with food as I do. I'm not a machine. I don't wake up every day at 5 a.m. and get my workout in. And even if I did, and that was who I was about, I would still post like, oh, I didn't want to do it today. I had every single excuse in my mind. So you don't want to be this robot once you become a coach. You want to make sure you stay connected with the same person you were before you were a coach, because before you became a coach, you were probably super excited about the opportunity, about the program you were using, about the results you got, and then you become a coach and you like freeze. You're like, okay, I'm a coach now. Now I have to be perfect. Now I have to like overanalyze everything I do. I have to overanalyze every single status post. I can't post any selfie unless it's perfect lighting. I can't post anything that shows my cottage cheese thighs. You know, and you just get in this like downward spiral, and then you get depressed because you're like, well, I'm not perfect. And I always tell my coaches or prospects, I'm glad you're not perfect. I want you on my team because you're imperfect, because that's what people can connect to. You don't need to become this like fake Barbie doll that eats salad every day to be a successful coach. No, you just want to be real and relatable. So put your blinders on. Do look to top coaches for inspirations, but don't do the jealousy comparison game, because that's only going to set you back. You know, top coaches are grinding hard behind the scenes. You don't see how many hours they're putting in, you know, to be a top 10 coach or whatever. So don't compare, you know, your story to their story, and don't be upset with the results you don't get from the work you don't do. You can't get, you know, to a top 10 coach status by working, you know, a power hour a day. Most likely. I mean, maybe you can, I don't know, but I would bet no. So definitely be real with yourself on the expectations, and that comes down. What's that?
I said you can't even get to just delete that working a power hour.
I know, right? Yeah, you have to be real with yourself with what, you know, I talked about this on the Tough Love call, is like, how much work are you putting into your business? And is it enough work to get you to where you want to be in your business? So to touch on what Jackie said again on goals, I like to pick a big, hairy, scary push goal. So like your yearly to monthly, or like 6-month goal, then monthly goal, weekly goal, and all the way down to your daily goal. Because if your daily tasks aren't on track to your big goal, you're going to miss it. And then you're going to get really upset and frustrated and like, why doesn't this work for me? Why am I not, you know, why can't I even get to Emerald type thing? Well, what are you really doing every day? Are you scrolling Facebook? Are you, you know, you need to figure out what you need to be doing. Those income generating activities are your bare minimum. And then just, you know, a little bit every single day. And consistency, just like the slide edge and compound effect talks about. But, you know, it's just, it all comes down to just like, it's a mix of things. Is the personal development, no, Mia, don't stick Play-Doh to my computer, please. Of personal development and being okay with who you are, accepting yourself. You're branding yourself. You're not branding, you know, Melanie Mitchell, the top coach. And if you are, you're probably sending coaches her way because people are going to like click with her. So figure out who you are as a person and be unapologetically you, be fearless, be okay with being uncomfortable, like you want to puke, and just do it. Because every single time I tell my coaches to just do it, like just do it, get it done. They come back to me and they say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did it. I got this results. And I'm like, you never would have gotten that if you wouldn't have took that jump. And, you know, Kyle just recently posted a really vulnerable post the other day of a before and after of just like his lifestyle, like, you know, party boy, drunk, you know, all the time doing crazy things, into who he is now. And me reading it, I was cringing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would never be able to post this. You know, I was like, wow, I was so proud of him. And he got so much feedback from that, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of likes and comments on one post, and people were messaging him like crazy to sign up. And it's just like that. You have to do those little things. My kids are killing each other right now. Share, please. And you just have to, you know, get in that that state that just share what your life is. Like my kids are out there fighting over Play-Doh. You know, I mean, it happens. I'm not over here the mom boss that gets to sit down and work uninterrupted all day. Oh, heck no. I'm lucky to get 1 power hour in a day that's uninterrupted, unless I stay up to wee hours of the morning. So, you know, just share your life and don't compare your story to someone else's. Ask for advice, ask for tips from them, reach out to them, ask them to mentor you or something, but Yeah, blinders on your own business. Focus, open up your sponsorship drill down in your back office. Look at the leadership ladder. That will tell you exactly what your benchmark should be for your business, exactly what you need to be focusing on right now to grow your business. It tells you right there in front of your face what you should be doing. And I was barely struggling to hit week leg volume for team leader like a couple months ago. And now I'm surpassing week leg volume for organizational leader, like surpassing it. And I'm like, how did this even happen in a few months' time? That's because I'm focusing on those goals for my business. So look at your drill down, look at your coaches. Everything you need to know is right there of who's active, inactive, what you need to do, and just reverse engineer those goals and be you, pretty much.
And let me add something to that. If you guys are going to Super Saturday, which you should, because there's big things happening and you need to go see, or if you're overseas, you should be hosting your party over there. But if you guys are going to Super Saturday, my advice to you is to be super brave and to go up to an elite coach that's not me. Because you can ask me any questions, I'll give you the same answers, but it's nice to hear from others. This is one thing that really worked for me, going to leadership, going to summit, going to on the cruises, is really being able to connect with other people and kind of figuring out what are they doing that's working for them, just to see if they could give me a new idea. Just even watching those how to make friends videos I shared yesterday gave me a couple new ideas that can just be another way, quick 5-10 minutes. You can go on. I saw the Pinterest one and I'd done it in the past and I was like, oh yeah, it really was that simple. Like you could just research a board and go add a couple people and then shoot them a message and like save the message, right? So you shoot the same message. So then it takes you like 10 minutes. The longest piece it takes is kind of figuring out like, do I want to add this person? Do I like this person? And it gives you 5 new people. And I was like, I totally learned from someone who's fairly new. So if you're going to Super Saturday, I was just telling the girls, there's a lot of people coming to Arizona. We have 13 elite coaches here, and we're all having a dinner on Friday. And I was like, tell your coaches to drill them with questions. Like, ask them burning questions that they really want to know, something that maybe they're just not hearing from us that will help you. Like, I remember a meeting with Tommy Migrant. We were in Dana Point, California at Leadership, and I was dying to know what he was doing. And it was the same old thing. And all he was doing was he was just kind of helping not only his personally sponsored, but he was helping his downline and kind of figuring out who they had on their dream list and helping them talk to them. And it was just one of those things that like I just didn't realize, and he helped me figure that out. That helped me help people go emerald and help people go diamond. It was things like that you may not be hearing through us. So it's just a bonus tip, like get to Super Saturday, ask successful people questions. They're happy to answer, especially if they can get with you like that, especially like in my situation, we've got this dinner. They're going to be there, and why not? Okay, one more. Sorry, we're running over.
Sorry, can I add something really quick?
Yeah.
The main thing though, like for me, that helped me is you have to decide. You just have to say, I will get SC every month, and start speaking positive to yourself and start acting like the coach you want to be. Don't wait until you're diamond to start acting like how you think a diamond coach would act or how you think a diamond coach would run their business. Do that now and just decide that you're going to make it happen, and it's going to happen. And every day you might have to remind yourself of that. You might have a really hard time with the limited or limiting beliefs in your mind. But if you work through it, it gets easier that way, because you just kind of get in the habit of telling yourself it's possible. And then you got to just keep consistent. You can't do something a top coach did and expect phenomenal results like they got from it because you just started it, today or something. It takes time, it takes consistency, and you have to realize that, and you have to just believe and trust in the process, and just, like I said, decide that you're going to hit Success Club or become diamond or whatever it is your goal is. And it starts with belief in yourself, and that trickles down to PD, trickles down to self-confidence and getting out of your comfort zone and all that. Like I said, it's all really intertwined. So it's all with you.
I shared a video in the team page it was a Bonnie Engel, Anita Myron video that it popped up in my YouTube one night, and it was kind of short, and I listened, and they tell you exactly how many people they talk to a day, and those are your top. They were like number 5, number 4, number 2, number 6, like Bonnie's number 2 right now. And she talks about how if I haven't talked to like 10 to 20 people a day, I am on a hunt. Like I'm looking for more to help. So if you go into the team page, it's fairly new. It's a quick listen, and she lays out like very simply what she does. And she's in the top 10, making very good money coming from, she was broke. She was in a bad situation before. So just a bonus tip. All right, moving on. Chrissy, final question.
Okay, so there's really not much to add to that. I mean, it is really just believing in yourself. I can say from a personal standpoint, just like the other lady said, I think we all fall into the trap of the comparison game. But if you have the right tools, which you do, it's called personal development. But if you have the right goals set and you can just remind yourself, like, I know you guys have all heard about vision boards and writing out your beliefs and having reminders of you all around. Last year, to keep me focused, because I needed it literally in front of me every single flippin' day, everywhere I went, I printed out my goal board. And Sissy's walking the dog, baby. Okay? Sit down with your snack. Right?
Isn't this fun? See, you guys can.
No, I don't think it's spring break anymore. Yay! But I had to have it every single place. So when I did fall into, and I would open up my Facebook and I would see so-and-so hit this goal and so-and-so hit multi-star, and I'll get there eventually, and I will get there. My team's growing. My leaders are coming up. I'm attracting the right people day in and day out. But when you see that, it's really hard sometimes not to go, but why didn't I do that yet? But I've been doing this twice as long as them. Why do I suck? Especially if you have self-image issues or self-confidence issues, which I have both. And I had these boards written out and printed out on the back of my visor in my car. I had them on every single bathroom mirror. So like my local coaches, when they would come over for training, they thought I was joking when I said I literally had my goals everywhere I could possibly be. Bathroom mirrors, on my fridge door, in my car, on my phone, you name it, it was there. And they would come over and they'd be like, oh, you weren't just joshing about that? Like you weren't just saying it to say it? I'm like, no, seriously, you need it in front of you. So my suggestion to you guys is if you're struggling with self-belief and PD's just not getting you there quite yet, because you have to really open your heart and mind when you're doing personal development, until you get to that routine of telling yourself every single day, I'm worth it, I'm awesome, I'm attracting the right people, I'm amazing, I'm a great leader, whatever you need to tell yourself, until you make that a routine. In the meantime, have your flipping goals everywhere. Let people laugh at you. Let people go, why would you do that? But do it, because it's going to change. It's going to help you keep your mind focused on that, especially when like all heck breaks loose in your house and, you know, kids running up and down the stairs. You know, things happen, or the water pipes burst. Like my sink broke the other day. I could have totally freaked out about that. I opened up my sink, I turned it on, and the whole spigot went this way. But you know what? I was able to go to Home Depot and go buy me a new one. So, but it's keeping focused. You have to keep focused on things. You're okay. You're okay. Come here. So, yep. I mean, that's really, I guess that answers the question, right? Yeah. Keep focused. Keep those little things around you every single day, everywhere you could possibly sit and work. That's my biggest tip.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I know we went a little bit over time, so it's probably a good thing that I didn't have the other 3 on, because we would have really gone over. So they're going to make some videos for you. I see John's on here now, but we'll have him take the questions and make a video, and he'll post it, right, John? Yes? Yes? Yes. Okay. John's been around for a while, and he's dealt with a lot of the same stuff and seen things, and can share what's kept him going and why he's, you know, pushing through, and how he hits his success club every month without fail and stuff like that. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. I appreciate you getting on and hanging in there a little bit long with us tonight. I will post this recording. I want to just encourage you to trust the process, even though you're like, I feel like everyone's telling me no, and my husband's not supporting me or whatever. Like, people think I'm crazy. Like, everybody thought I was crazy. I got told this is a scam. This is all these things. And then, of course, I was in a position where my whole health went in the wrong direction with the twins and everything. And in fact, yesterday, if you haven't seen my vulnerable post, I got told that I shouldn't be in fitness because I look like I'm 100 pounds overweight. And that was not fun to be told that. But they don't really know my story, and that maybe that was just a bad, like, picture they saw or something, because that's not even close to true. So those are scary things. They're very uncomfortable, and they could spiral you into tears, right? But I just took it, and I thought I'd address it because I bet there's a lot of ladies out there that feel like I could never be in fitness coach because of that. So I thought, okay, I'm going to be brave. This is going to make me want to vomit, but I'm going to talk about this because this is not comfortable. And it was a great thing. I got a lot of great response from it. And so it's things like that. Like, it's you just really being brave and getting out there, being blind, having that blind faith that I'm going to do this, but being productive with your work. Don't just be throwing things to the wall and hoping they stick. Really track who you're talking to. Really track that you're adding new people. Really focus on, creating free groups for them, or really talking to them, being their friend. Like, think about the things you're doing. Some people are going to come at me and say, I'm doing all this, nothing's working, but we have to really focus on exactly what you're doing. And so, on my wake-up call, I talked about the to-do list and the business activity tracker, and how I know I've invited people. Like, I literally have my notebook right here, got my trackers right here, my to-do list, and I'm checking things off. I worked out this morning, team calls getting checked off. I have to send out my invites. I have to go follow up with the people I invited yesterday. I have to go find new people to connect with, which may be through my ads, or maybe I'm going to go play on Pinterest today based on that video I watched and connect with some new people and just talk to them. Like, hey, I saw you on the Lululemon board. You must be into health and fitness too. Like, what do? What kind of, are you in CrossFit? Are you in yoga? Like, what do you do? Are you working on goals? And it builds a relationship. And then when they start to ask me about what I do, we can start to talk about, hey, maybe this coaching thing's a good fit for you, right? And that's how it happens. It's super natural. And personal development, just pick the girls shared a ton here. Pick some things that are going to be good for you, and we're going to speak to what you are struggling with right now. Maybe it's, I don't know how to talk to people, so then it's GoPro, or it's Rock Your Network Marketing Business, or maybe it's I don't believe in myself, so then it's You Are a Badass, or The Magic of Thinking Big, or Girl Code is a great one by Kara Alwell Lebia. And I have you guys can follow her. She posts great stuff on Facebook. Or maybe it's The Fear of Failing, and it's Failing Forward is a great book for you. Like, there's always something. Or maybe it's Time Management, right? And it's Eat That Frog or Push by Chalene Johnson. Right now, a lot of us are doing the 10-time rule. Is it 10-time rule by Grant Cardone? And like, super good book in general. So anyways, thank you guys so much. This was kind of long. Sorry about that. But I hope it was helpful to you. I hope you go write out some goals and crush the rest of this month. We've got a couple days to go, and have a great day, guys.